What's up, everybody? My name is Mario, and this is Family Tree TV. Today, I want to go over the difference between expungement, vacating, and sealing your criminal record. A little bit about me. I did 3.5 years at Springfield College with a minor in criminal justice, and I was studying for the LSAT test to go on to law school. I also have some real life experience with the court system. Unfortunately, I used to get in trouble. So I always used to either hire an attorney, or I would know enough that if I had a public defender that I knew my rights, would know what I want to do, and advocating for myself. So with that said, I have vacated a case. I have an expungement, and I also am in the process of having my record sealed right now. All right. I'm saying this because I've seen a few people with sealed records thinking that it's no longer an issue for them when they go apply for their citizenship, or if they go apply for their firearm. That is not the case. You can take the information I'm giving you with a grain of salt. You can research it. You can go talk to an attorney. I'm telling you that I did all of these things firsthand. I've also have filed lawsuits against former employers that did not pay me a couple of weeks' wages. I filed lawsuits against car dealerships who sold me lemons. I've done a malpractice lawsuit against a dentist company. All right, so let's go over all three. If you go and expunge your case, especially now with marijuana, it's easily expungible. You go down to the courthouse. I'm speaking for Massachusetts now, since marijuana is legal here. You go down to the courthouse, tell them you want to file for an expungement. They're going to give you an application. You're going to need the docket number for that case. If you don't know it, ask them for it. Put down the docket, and then you'll go in front of a judge. You wait for the date, and you go in front of a judge. Depending on the seriousness of the case, you might need an attorney. But once you have your case expunged, it's no longer on your query. It's erased. So it will never be able to show up again. All right. So that's expungement. All right. To vacate a case, this is reopening the case, going back in front of the judge and saying why you should have not been found guilty to begin with. All right. In most cases, a lawyer is going to write a motion. They're going to get a testimony from witnesses, and they're going to file that motion, and you wait for the court. It took me, I think, about a year for that process, right? When you vacate, that's going to still show on your record. It's going to show as vacate no pros, NOLL pros, PROS. That means that you should have never been found guilty to begin with. But again, that's going to show on your record. All right. But it won't be used against you in the future. All right. Now, when you go seal your record, sealing your record means that jobs cannot see it. That's all. But if you go work at a job for the federal government, the state government, working with kids, they're going to be able to see it. If you get pulled over by a police officer, they won't be able to see it in the cruiser. But if you were brought back to the police station, they will be able to see it there. Now, that is that information I was told. But that part right there, I don't know for sure if they can still see it at the police department. All right. But if you ever go decide to seal your record, if it's a federal crime, you can't seal it because the federal is national. When you're sealing it, you're only sealing it for that state. So if you were ever in a federal prison, you're not going to be able to seal it. And then when you do seal your record, don't lie on any application that you don't have a record. Like if you go apply for your firearms license, because when you get fingerprinted, they're gonna send that to the feds, and the feds are gonna let the police department know about your sealed record and everything that you was charged with, and you're gonna get an automatic denial. If you're gonna go apply for your citizenship, don't seal your record, because when you go, immigration is gonna tell you to go unseal your record. That means going back in front of a judge, unsealing it, and then going back and applying for your citizenship again. If you're ever going to need the dates of the arrest for, let's say if you do go and apply for your gun license, you're going to list the days and the charges, so you might want a copy of that, Corey. Also, if you ever go do an adoption, you're going to need that Corey information. And if you seal it, again, they're going to tell you they still need all that information. All right. I've seen people think that just because they seal their record, they no longer have a record. And they almost got in trouble, let me put it that way. Because if you go apply for your citizenship or for a gun license, it's falsifying federal paperwork. That's a charge on its own. So I highly advise you not to do that. And people will think, well, I sealed it, so I'm good. No. Sealing actually means shit. Unless you're going to go look for a job, and you don't want them to see it, unless you're just ashamed of your background and you don't want people, you don't want it to come up again, that's fine. But sealing is really nothing. So again, if you do decide to go seal it, do those things first. And also, one more thing, your juvenile records, it's called a CARI, C-A-R-I. If you do go apply for your firearms license, they are going to be able to see that, your juvenile record. If you go apply for your citizenship, they are going to be able to see that. It will be used against you for a denial. So keep that in mind. All right. Hope this helped.